Hey everyone. Make sure my mic is good. Okay, so if you're on a journey to have a more fulfilling life and you've tried everything externally of you and you're ready to go inside of you internally and look find that fulfillment inside of yourself, this video is for you. I'm going to be talking about the hardest part to living a fulfilling life would be accountability. I think this is the biggest thing that we all try to avoid because there is a lot of beliefs rooted in accountability that are quite negative. So in my last video, which it will pop up here on the screen, I suggest you watch that one as well. It is about intellectualization and how we disconnect we abandon ourselves as we grow up. There's a chart on there that you can look at, and it's just that's how it looks. um, okay, so I'm going to refer to my notes because my brain's a little bit scattered today. I'm talking about accountability. So, attachment is a part of growing up. We all form an attachment style. So, just as much as we do form attachment, attachment will always win over authenticity. Authenticity can only come from accountability. So, trauma around accountability is inevitable too. And I do believe that for some reason we believe that because our parents didn't accept us or we had to be a certain way growing up, that as we get older, we have to continue to do that. And I feel as we get older, the older we grow, the more independent we become, the safer we are to be more authentic because no one could take that from you. And I would much rather be accountable to myself than to have somebody randomly call me out at work or call me out at school. So we want to avoid being trampled. We want to stay in the fast lane. So we want to keep up with the now. It's an indication of weakness. Delayed accountability would be delayed gratification. And we're so used to having our cell phones that we're always getting instant gratification, but it's never really it's never really filling that void inside of us. So we want to avoid pain. We choose to lack awareness because it's a coping mechanism instead of having to feel that discomfort of us not being who we are, which is completely okay. There's nothing wrong with it. As soon as you are aware, though, and you are on this journey, then there you go. So we have a fear of rejection. We don't like disagreements. We don't want to be in conflicts. We don't want to be seen as a bad person, or we don't want to be seen as a fraud. So if you're not authentically being yourself, you're a fraud anyway. Just saying. And there's nothing wrong with that either. The biggest one of all is we look at accountability as a threat to our survival. So switch accountability from external and go internal. When you take your accountability and you're accountable to yourself, no one else is going to see that conversation or hear that conversation. It's straight up you calling yourself out. Parent yourself. Look yourself in the eyes, in the mirror, and call yourself out. No one else has to hear it. You're completely safe and okay. So, in my life, I left home at 13. I very much so parented myself. Going back and looking along my journey, there's a few things that I would set as rules to have in place before embarking on this journey. One would be create a safe space to feel your emotions. If you do not express emotions easily and you've learned to suppress your emotions, because that's who you had to be growing up, such as myself, one thing I would have done differently is I would create a safe space for me to go to that I could be emotional, away from everybody, somewhere that was safe, a zone for me. Be analytical, not critical. Patterns are everything. See the humor in your journey. It releases the pain. As soon as you can laugh, you release. That gut feeling that we deny the first and second time, listen the third time. Okay? And the reason why I say listen the third time is because everyone needs to find out for themselves, and I'm not going to sit here and deny that. Everybody needs to go through the experience. Don't do it 10 times though. Listen the third time. um, get familiar with the unfamiliar. Define what shame means to you. What would it look like? How how does it feel? And how would others be affected and treat you in this if you were to experience shame? I'm not asking you to do this because I am. If you prepare yourself, there's going to be no stigmatism. So we're going to take everything, all the forces that are external to you, and the most difficult feeling in the world to deal with would be shame. And you're going to flip the script and you're going to turn it into light. So, in spite of XYZ, I am clear on ABC. You know, so you have these coping mechanisms. You've already prepared for these situations that may arise for you. The more preparation is everything. Okay. Um, so long term, avoiding socially being. Hold on a second here. Okay, so authenticity. You can avoid it for as long as you want, but you're avoiding socially being trapped or trampled while internally trampling yourself. And most would say this is completely okay because at least I'm saving myself the public embarrassment. It's not much different than saying I'd rather call myself out on XYZ than have someone else do it and save myself the public embarrassment. That would be more humiliating to me. So, I mean, eventually, if you want to just keep denying, you can live in your own little bubble, in your own little world for as long as you want. You will miss out on opportunities, though, and you will perceive the world in such a way that isn't helping our race prevail in the long run. Because the more we are opinionated about other people, the more hatred that we're creating, and we are passing that down to our children, whether you want to admit it or not. This is all behavioral, and they see how you treat people, they're going to mimic that. So the cycle has to break somewhere. Um, so I flipped the script on what we're trying to avoid. So mentally weak people avoid emotional pain, so they suppress awareness out of fear of rejection, conflicts, and disagreements due to their perspective of this threatens their survival. Delaying gratification is avoided at all costs was because if it wasn't, the need for instant gratification wouldn't serve the same purpose. I got one question for you guys. How's your friend? You know, the one that was going through all that drama with that guy? Yeah, like what's going on with that? We all know someone like that, right? How is that instant gratification for you? When you're involving yourself into lower vibrational things, such as talking about other people. So, like, I mean, like, if there's a situation that you've been through that really bugs you, the best way to release it is to take accountability for your part in it. Because at that point, there's nothing more you can do. You learned everything you had to, and it just kind of just disappears like that. It's a natural process, and you'll just stop thinking. I don't even know how to explain it. It will stop bugging you. You can't, it cannot not bug you. It works itself the way it's supposed to. We learn what we need to, and then we release. And then take that knowledge that you learned, that wisdom, and you share that. You pass that down. You we're all here to teach each other. I'm going to see things a different way than you are, and there's probably a way that I haven't seen it before. So don't dismiss or discredit your own wisdom, please comment it below so I can see your perspectives as well. So if you have any more questions, let me know. Please like and subscribe if you found this video helpful. And yeah, ciao for now.